Life is not a playground. It is not a fair test. It is a brutal game, one without mercy, without fairness, without second chances. And in this game, there are only two outcomes. You dominate or you are dominated. There is no middle ground. The first dark truth is this: life does not care about you. It does not care about your dreams, your morals, or your pain. The game is cold, and the game is cruel. Those who expect fairness are crushed beneath those who know it doesn't exist. If you cling to the idea that effort alone will reward you, you will bleed for nothing. The world bows only to power, and power comes to those willing to see life for what it truly is. The second dark truth: you are being judged every moment, not for your intentions, but for your strength. People don't care what you feel, they care how you appear. Weakness is blood in the water. Insecurity is an invitation to be controlled. The man who hesitates, who doubts, who explains himself, becomes prey in an instant. The game rewards those who project strength, even when they are building it in silence. The third dark truth: you are always being used, or you are the one doing the using. Every interaction is a transaction. Every friendship, every alliance, every partnership carries hidden terms. The naive think they are loved for who they are. The powerful know they are valued for what they bring. And the moment you bring nothing, you are discarded. Understand this: these truths are not curses. They are weapons. Most men run from them because they want life to be softer than it is. But you are here because you want the armor and the blade. You are here to rule. So write this in the comments now: I bend the game to my will. Not as a phrase, not as a wish, as a declaration. Because from this moment forward, you are no longer a pawn being pushed across the board. You are the hand moving the pieces, and only those who embrace these truths will ever sit on the throne. The fourth dark truth that rules the game of life is this: people do not want the truth. They want illusions. They want comfort. They want to believe the mask, not the man behind it. Show the world your raw self and they will tear you apart. But master the mask, and you will rule them blind. Machiavelli said it best: men judge more with their eyes than with their minds. They cannot see your intentions. They cannot weigh your soul. They only react to what you project. If they see strength, they assume you are strong, even if inside you are building that strength in silence. If they see confidence, they treat you as if you are already crowned, even if your kingdom is still being built brick by brick. The mask becomes reality because perception shapes the game. The fifth dark truth: authenticity without power is exposure. The naive believe that being real will win them love, loyalty, and respect. They think honesty is enough. But in this game, honesty without leverage is weakness. Show your wounds, and they will be exploited. Show your needs, and they will be used against you. Authenticity is not a virtue here. It is a liability. Power must come first. Only when you are strong enough to enforce respect can you afford to reveal pieces of yourself. Until then, the mask is your armor. The sixth dark truth: silence itself is a mask. Sometimes charm is the mask. Sometimes arrogance. Sometimes indifference, sometimes even weakness when you choose to display it, becomes a mask. The wise man selects his mask like a weapon. The fool thinks masks are lies, but the powerful know masks are strategy. Every situation demands a different one. And when your enemies cannot read you, they cannot strike you. So hear me clearly: truth without power is ignored. Power without disguise is destroyed. But the man who cloaks his power with masks, who appears as many things while being in control, cannot be touched. Type this in the comments right now: my mask is my weapon. Say it until it is not just a phrase, but a law in your mind. Because in the game of life, the man without masks is naked, and the naked man always bleeds. The seventh dark truth is this: power is the only true currency in life. Money fades, status crumbles, titles can be stripped away in an instant. But power, the ability to bend others to your will, outlives all of them. The man with power dictates the value of everything else. Without it, wealth is stolen, respect is hollow, and reputation is fragile. With it, even poverty can command kings. The eighth dark truth: men are not equal. They never were. They never will be. Some are born with advantage. Others must claw their way up through blood and fire. But once you grasp that equality is a myth, you begin to see the game clearly. Stop expecting fairness. Stop expecting balance. Power concentrates in the hands of those who dare to take it. Those who wait for permission will spend their lives serving. The ninth dark truth: fear outlasts love. Love is fragile. Love bends with time. It dies in silence. It breaks under pressure. But fear binds men tighter than devotion ever could. A man who fears you will guard his tongue even when he despises you. A man who fears you will not betray you, because betrayal risks destruction. Machiavelli himself wrote it. It is safer to be feared than loved. Love dies with convenience. Fear survives in the marrow. So learn this: wealth without power is bait. Status without power is theater. Kindness without power is slavery. Only power endures. Power forces respect. Power bends perception. Power commands obedience when nothing else will. And remember, power is not always loud. The most dangerous form of power is invisible, when people obey without realizing they're obeying, when they yield to your presence without understanding why. That is the mastery you must aim for. Write this now in the comments: power is my only currency. Because when you grasp this truth, you stop chasing illusions and start claiming the one thing that bends all men to your will. The 10th dark truth is this: silence is a weapon. The weak use words to beg, to explain, to prove themselves. The strong use silence to dominate. Every unnecessary word you give away is a piece of leverage surrendered to your enemy. Silence denies them that weapon. Silence makes them guess, doubt, and crumble under the weight of their own thoughts. The 11th dark truth: explanations weaken you. When you justify yourself, you are already on trial in the eyes of others. When you defend yourself, you admit that their judgment matters. But the untouchable man does not explain. He dictates. He does not justify. He acts. Silence in the face of accusation is not weakness. It is superiority. It leaves your enemies wrestling with shadows while you stand untouched. The 12th dark truth: silence controls the frame. In conflict, in negotiations, in power struggles, the one who speaks less forces the other to reveal more. The one who holds back shapes the tempo. People cannot stand silence. They rush to fill it with confessions, with excuses, with weakness. And while they bleed themselves dry with words, you grow stronger by saying nothing. Machiavelli understood that perception governs reality, and silence is perception's sharpest blade. But understand this: silence without strength is cowardice. Silence backed by power is dominance. The quiet man who is weak is ignored. The quiet man who is strong is feared. That is why you must master not only when to speak, but when to suffocate the room with your silence. Never forget, silence cannot be twisted, cannot be misquoted, cannot be used against you. Silence is the fortress of the untouchable. Use it to create tension, to build mystery, to make others break before you. Write this in the comments now: my silence makes me untouchable. And remember, every word you do not speak becomes another chain around the minds of those trying to read you. The 13th dark truth is this: if you cannot control yourself, you cannot control anything. The man ruled by his anger is easy to provoke. The man enslaved by his desire is easy to bait. The man consumed by his fear is easy to crush. Before you can master others, you must master your own impulses. Control your reactions, and no one can play you like a puppet. Lose control, and you place your strings in another man's hands. The 14th dark truth: everyone has a string. Every man, every woman, no matter how powerful they appear, there is always something that moves them. It may be ambition, it may be pride, it may be greed, fear, or love. The ruthless man searches for that string, and once he finds it, he owns them. With one pull, he can guide their actions. With one tug, he can collapse their resolve. This is the real art of control, not brute force, but subtle mastery. The 15th dark truth: true control is invisible. Tyrants reveal their grip through constant threats. Weak men display their control by shouting commands. But the master of control makes others believe they are acting freely, when in truth they are moving exactly where he wants them. This is the highest form of power. Not when people obey because they must, but when they obey because they think it was their idea. Control is strongest when it feels like freedom. Machiavelli wrote that men are ruled either by fear or by their own interests. Use both. Instill enough fear that betrayal feels dangerous. Feed enough self-interest that loyalty feels profitable. Rule with both hands, one hidden, one visible, and you will never lose your grip. So understand this: the man without control is a puppet. The man with control is the puppeteer. Choose which one you will be. Write this in the comments now: I control myself. I control the game. Let it sink into you until control becomes your nature. Because once you master it, nothing and no one will ever master you. The 16th dark truth is this: attachment is weakness. The moment you cling too tightly to people, possessions, or outcomes, you hand over your power. What you cannot walk away from owns you. The man who cannot detach is chained even if he looks free. Your enemies exploit what you fear losing. Your rivals target what you cannot let go. Detachment is freedom, and freedom is power. The 17th dark truth: loyalty is conditional. Never forget this. Men swear loyalty when it benefits them. They abandon loyalty when it doesn't. To expect eternal devotion is to set yourself up for betrayal. The wise man accepts this law. He does not beg for loyalty. He engineers it. He creates systems of fear and reward so that staying loyal is safer than betrayal. Understand this: no one is loyal to you. They are loyal to what you provide, to what you protect, to what you control. Strip those away and watch how fast they vanish. The 18th dark truth: emotions blind strategy. The man who lets love, hatred, or pride guide his decisions is walking into traps he cannot see. Love makes you vulnerable. Hatred makes you reckless. Pride makes you predictable. Detachment does not mean you feel nothing. It means you master your feelings and refuse to let them rule you. You can use them as tools, but they will never be your master. A detached mind is clear, sharp, and impossible to manipulate. Machiavelli himself warned rulers to avoid dependency on affection. Affection fades, interests shift. Fear, control, and self-preservation last longer than any emotion. Detachment allows you to maneuver when others are blinded by their own passions. So remember this: attachment makes you a slave. Detachment makes you untouchable. Write this in the comments now: nothing owns me. I own myself. Because only when you can let go of everything will you finally control everything. The 19th dark truth is this: isolation is strength. Most men drown in the noise of the crowd. They seek validation, approval, and constant company. But every moment spent begging for recognition is a moment stolen from building power. The powerful man is comfortable alone. He forges himself in silence, in solitude, where no one can infect him with weakness. The crowd breeds mediocrity. Isolation breeds kings. The 20th dark truth: dependence is death. The man who relies too heavily on others for survival, validation, or identity is already conquered. Dependence gives others the keys to your fate. When they control what you need, they control you. True strength is self-reliance, not because you never use others, but because you never need them. You can use allies, you can exploit partnerships, but you must always be ready to stand alone. The 21st dark truth: distance creates power. The man who is always available, always accessible, always present, becomes ordinary. Familiarity breeds contempt, and scarcity creates value. The powerful man is not everywhere. He is not easy to reach. His presence is felt, not begged for, and because it is rare, it is respected. The crowd shouts. The king sits in silence on the throne, and the room bends toward him. Machiavelli warned that a ruler too close to his people loses reverence. Distance maintains awe. Controlled isolation ensures that others see you not as one of them, but above them. You are not common. You are not accessible. You are not ordinary. You are the exception, and they must be reminded of it every day. So never fear isolation. Fear the crowd. Never fear being alone. Fear being dependent. Never fear distance. Fear being common. Write this in the comments right now. I stand alone. I stand unbroken. Because the man who masters isolation never begs for power. He becomes the source of it. The 22nd dark truth is this: indecision is death. In the game of life, hesitation kills faster than failure. The man who cannot decide is the man who will be decided for. Opportunities do not wait. Power does not linger. Every moment of delay allows another predator to take what could have been yours. A wrong decision can be corrected. No decision is permanent defeat. Understand this. The man who acts, even imperfectly, will always rule over the man who hesitates. The 23rd dark truth: mercy is a luxury of the strong, never a strategy of the weak. Weak men think mercy will earn them love. It does not. It earns them exploitation. The powerful may choose mercy once they have already won, as a display of dominance. But the man who shows mercy before he has secured power is not noble, he is finished. Ruthlessness builds thrones. Mercy is a crown you wear only after your enemies are already beneath your feet. The 24th dark truth: sacrifice is inevitable, but you must never sacrifice the essential for the trivial. Life forces choices: comfort or power, approval or respect, love or loyalty. The masses sacrifice their future for pleasure in the moment. The rulers sacrifice ease today for absolute control tomorrow. You cannot keep everything. To win the game, you must cut away weakness, attachments, and illusions like dead flesh. Every great power is built on the bones of sacrifices lesser men were unwilling to make. Machiavelli knew that rulers who tried to please everyone pleased no one and lost everything. The path of power demands ruthlessness in choice. You cut quickly, you cut cleanly, and you never look back. So remember this: hesitation destroys, premature mercy enslaves, and weak sacrifices bury you alive. But decisive action, ruthless strategy, and calculated sacrifice carve the road to domination. Write this now in the comments. I choose power over comfort. Because in this game, choices are not optional, they are your destiny. The 25th dark truth is this: enemies are more useful than friends. A friend may support you in silence, but an enemy sharpens you through conflict. Friends give comfort. Enemies give clarity. It is your enemies who expose your weaknesses, who force you to grow harder, stronger, sharper. Never fear having enemies. Fear being so insignificant that no one sees you as a threat. If you have enemies, it means you are moving. It means you are dangerous. The 26th dark truth: appearances will always outweigh reality. In the shadows, perception is power. Men will treat you not as you are, but as you appear to be. This is why kings wear crowns, generals wear medals, and rulers display grandeur. Symbols matter more than essence. If you look powerful, people assume you are powerful, and that assumption alone bends their behavior. Learn to master appearances, and you will rule the blind. Ignore them, and you will live at the mercy of those who understand the theater of power. The 27th dark truth: betrayal is inevitable, but predictable. Every man has a price. Every ally has a breaking point. Trust is not a shield, it is bait. The wise man does not eliminate betrayal, he calculates it. He places his allies where their betrayal cannot destroy him. He designs his empire so that treachery hurts the traitor more than the target. This way, betrayal becomes not a danger, but a tool. Remember this, the dagger always comes from the shadows closest to you. Expect it, plan for it, and when it strikes, be ready to cut deeper. Machiavelli knew that rulers who feared appearances, enemies, and betrayal too much lost their crowns. The game of life demands you embrace shadows. You turn enemies into fuel, appearances into weapons, and betrayal into proof that you were worthy of loyalty in the first place. So burn this into your mind. Enemies sharpen you, appearances protect you, betrayal teaches you. The fool collapses under shadows. The powerful man learns to rule from within them. Write this in the comments right now. I rule from the shadows. Because in the end, the throne does not belong to the one in the light. It belongs to the one who controls what moves in darkness. The 28th dark truth is this. Morality is a weapon of the powerful, not a shield of the weak. Those who rule invent morality to control the masses. They define good and evil to bind others, while they themselves operate outside those same rules. If you cling to morality without power, it will be used against you. Understand this. You either wield morality as a tool, or you are crushed beneath it. The 29th dark truth. Justice does not exist. It is only power balancing itself. The weak cry for justice, but they receive only what the strong allow. Courts, laws, and rules are illusions designed to make the powerless feel safe. Behind the curtain, justice belongs to whoever holds the crown. Never mistake law for truth. Never mistake justice for fairness. Both bend under the weight of power. The 30th dark truth. Legacy is built on fear, not love. Love fades with memory. Fear engraves itself into history. Men remember the conqueror, not the kind soul. They remember the empire built on blood, not the man who sacrificed himself for others. If you want to live forever, carve your name into the minds of men with dominance so sharp they cannot erase it. The 31st dark truth. The crowd is blind, and the blind are led by symbols. Men do not follow reason, they follow strength, image, and ritual. They worship flags, crowns, and banners because these symbols give them something to obey. If you control the symbols, you control the herd. The 32nd dark truth. Peace is temporary, stability is an illusion. Behind every calm surface, ambition sharpens its blade. Behind every treaty, betrayal waits. If you expect peace to last, you will be destroyed in your sleep. The strong prepare for war even in silence, because they know the wheel always turns. The 31st dark truth. The crowd is blind, and the blind are led by symbols. Men do not follow reason. They follow strength, image, and ritual. They worship flags, crowns, and banners because these symbols give them something to obey. If you control the symbols, you control the herd. The 32nd dark truth. Peace is temporary. Stability is an illusion. Behind every calm surface, ambition sharpens its blade. Behind every treaty, betrayal waits. If you expect peace to last, you will be destroyed in your sleep. The strong prepare for war, even in silence, because they know the wheel always turns. And the 33rd dark truth, the final law of the game of life. You will either rule or you will be ruled. That is the essence of existence. There is no escape from the hierarchy, no retreat from the chain of dominance. Every man bows to someone except the one who learns all these truths and climbs to the top. That man does not bow. That man is bowed to. Understand this. Morality is a cage. Justice is an illusion. Love is fragile. Peace is fleeting. But power endures. And when you embrace all 33 truths, you no longer just play the game of life. You own it. Write this one last time in the comments. I was born to rule. And if these truths cut into you, if they forged something colder and stronger inside you, then like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications, because here, inside Laws of Power, you will never be fed illusions. You will be armed with weapons.